This is Detroit. In the 1950s, Detroit was the richest city in the USA by GDP per capita. At its peak, Detroit had over 1.8 million residents. It was an industrial powerhouse employing 296,000 people in the manufacturing sector and famous for its automobile industry, which was home to major automakers like General Motors and Chrysler. However, in the 1970s, increasing foreign competition and the global shift meant that many manufacturing firms relocated away from Detroit. This has had permanent catastrophic consequences for the city. Today, Detroit is the second poorest major city in the USA and the population has shrunk to 632,000 people. According to the US Census Bureau, Detroit today has a poverty rate of 37.9%. Around 60% of children in Detroit live in poverty and 53% of adults are functionally illiterate. Many inner city areas within Detroit are scarred with derelict buildings and low quality infrastructure. In fact, 33% of Detroit's 140 square mile land area is vacant or derelict. There are few good paying jobs in Detroit. Many residents rely on government assistance programs like food stamps and Medicaid. The city is also plagued by poor governance and exceptionally corrupt politicians. A substandard education system and a lack of job opportunities meant that youth unemployment reached 40%. Therefore, many young people have turned to crime and joined gangs. According to the FBI, Detroit has the highest violent crime rate of any city in the country. Economic woes have also inflamed racial tensions between white and black communities, and numerous well-documented incidents of violence have taken place since 1967. The riots in 1967 resulted in the deaths of 43 people and caused more than $1 million in property damage. Riots and crime meant that many businesses closed their doors for good, leaving even fewer opportunities for residents. Many of Detroit's white citizens moved out, causing the tax base to shrink and further exacerbating its economic woes. Depopulation is when an area sees a significant decline in its population. The example of Detroit shows it can often have disastrous effects on cities, such as poor public services, damaged infrastructure, and reduced government tax revenue. So, what causes depopulation within cities? The loss of a major employer can cause severe unemployment. This can see many residents move out in search of opportunities elsewhere. Deindustrialization in the UK has meant many cities in northern England have experienced large population declines. Another reason for depopulation may be a declining fertility rate. This has been caused by the decline in the primary sector, meaning fewer children are needed to work on the land, and the rising cost of raising children, as well as women choosing to prioritize their career and delay having children. A shrinking fertility rate can cause an imbalance in the population structure and increase the dependency ratio, reducing the size of the labor force. Thus, businesses see their revenues shrink and cities may see their tax revenues fall, while expenditure on pensions exponentially increase, which may create a budget deficit. Other reasons for depopulation can include famine, drought, epidemics, natural disasters, conflicts, high crime, or short-sighted government policies. Now, what are the effects of depopulation on cities? Depopulation means businesses within the city receive less demand for their products. This can lead to businesses making less profits, forcing them to close or relocate to other regions. As a result, unemployment is created, leading to a fall in average incomes. A negative multiplier effect ensues, whereby a fall in income leads to less consumption and lower material living standards. Less consumption means other businesses see their profits fall further, leading to less investment and even higher unemployment. Government tax revenues will also fall as income and corporation tax receipts decline. Most cities receive the majority of their tax revenue from property taxes such as council tax and funding grants from the central government. Depopulation often sees a reduction in the tax base and a huge decline in the demand for housing and a surplus of housing supply. This puts a downward pressure on house prices, making property values fall. To compound this, central government funding is often tied with a city's population. Thus, as residents leave, government funding also dwindles. Less funding for cities means that the quality of public services such as healthcare and education decline, causing a further reduction in living standards. This can create many social problems such as lower life expectancy and reduced social mobility, subsequently making it even harder for people to escape poverty. Quality of infrastructure will also decline as tax revenue falls, meaning maintenance is no longer financially viable. This makes it harder to attract new businesses to relocate into the city and provide employment opportunities. Lower tax revenues can cause budget deficits and risk austerity measures such as higher taxes and lower government spending. Most of the people left behind in a city facing depopulation tend to be earning lower income or are of an older age, thus making them more reliant on public services and government benefits. Consequently, austerity means that vulnerable residents may see their living standards decline significantly as their incomes and purchasing power falls. Austerity can also exacerbate inequalities. Widening inequalities can lead to increased crime and deprivation, especially in inner-city areas. What can a city do to attract or retain residents? Cities facing depopulation need to diversify their economies, attract new industries, and invest in technology to remain competitive on a global scale. Many cities have successfully reversed depopulation trends through innovative strategies. Urban regeneration projects, affordable housing initiatives, and attracting creative talent can all breathe new life into a once quiet streets. One way a city can regenerate itself is through the Bilbao effect. The Bilbao effect is where new architecture acts as a catalyst for economic revitalization and transformation within cities. Bilbao was built on steel and shipbuilding, but by the 1980s those industries were dying due to global shift. The city was also scarred by terror attacks as Basque separatists were embroiled in a war against the Spanish state. In order to try rebrand its image, Bilbao spent €84 million on building the Guggenheim Museum. Since its opening in 1997, it has attracted over 19 million visitors. The museum was the economic cure that Bilbao needed and now generates €400 million every year for the city. Bilbao has also attracted many technology and R&D firms to relocate into the city, creating new job opportunities. With the improved government finances, the city saw a revitalization of its infrastructure, including a new metro system and improvements to the Bilbao International Airport. Good transport infrastructure reduces commute times and helps make businesses more productive. Some cities, such as Manchester, have turned to major building projects to regenerate and rebrand the city in the hopes of attracting new businesses and residents. Developing infrastructure and increasing the quality of human capital may help incentivize firms to locate within the city. Projects such as Spinning Fields, a commercial, retail and residential development in central Manchester developed in the 2000s, and Noma, an £800 million mixed-use redevelopment scheme in Manchester, have created new retail, commercial and residential spaces which attracted many financial services producers to locate there, including HSBC and Barclays. Manchester is also famous for its high-quality universities, which provide a supply of skilled graduates to firms. This helps diversify the economy and provide new job opportunities. In fact, the population of Manchester grew by 19% between 2000 and 2011. Incentives which tackle factor immobility can be offered to attract new residents. Factor immobility occurs when a factor of production cannot move easily from one region of an economy to another. For example, monetary assistance can be given to help people deal with the cost of living in cities. The government can also offer incentives which can attempt to influence an increase in the birth rate. These can come in the form of tax cuts or allowances, as well as providing free healthcare for mothers. Working mothers can also be offered more flexible hours. South Korea, which has one of the world's lowest birth rates, has spent over $92 billion to incentivize families to have more children. These include housing benefits, tax cuts, infant care support, as well as support for IVF. However, South Korea has consistently beaten its own record for the lowest fertility rates in the world year after year, suggesting government policies haven't had the desired effect. So there you have it, a glimpse into how depopulation affects cities. From the physical landscape to the social and economic aspects, every corner of the city feels the impact. Though it can have disastrous consequences, we can also see how it offers cities a chance to refurbish its perception to the outside world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button for more engaging content. As always, please feel free to share your insights in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious.